well, that sentiment being reflected by the other actor from Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan as well. Shah Rukh said he called himself a proud Indian Muslim, also lashing out against those clerics who he said misinterpreted the Quran. He was speaking to our editor-in-chief, Rajdeep Sardesai.
And you've always been proud, interestingly, of your Indian identity and your Muslim identity. You're a proud Indian Muslim. Now when you hear of terrorists who speak in the name of religion, speak in the name of Islam, claim that, through terrorism in some form, they will actually reach Jannah, in a sense. What do you have to say to those minds?
Can I clarify? I've read the Quran, the Holy Quran, and I'm a believer of Islam because that's how I'm born. There is an Islam from Allah, which is in a holy book. There is an Islam, and very unfortunate, I'm not being anti, but there is an Islam from the mullahs. And I appeal to all of them that please give the right reading of the Quran to the young people. I do it to my children. Nowhere in the Quran, which we consider as the word of Allah, does it say that you are going to be given Jannah if you kill harmless, innocent people. Nowhere.
So they're distorting religion in that
Absolutely. See, I'll explain to you. Jihad is actually to be called upon by the Prophet himself. And jihad also has a very simple logic. If you go by what is written, that there is debates. There has to be an understanding. Either you convince me of your viewpoint or I convince you of mine. And then also, if we don't understand, we'll go our separate ways. No way does jihad say, very, very clearly, let me be very honest about it, I've read it now. I've read it many times over the last 2-3 years. It doesn't say that you can go into anybody else's territory. Jihad says if somebody comes into your territory, then you can protect yourself.
I mean, you cannot take the lives, you're saying, of innocent people in the name of religion.
You cannot.
And claim that you're following the tenets of the Quran. There's no question about, I mean, that is a complete distortion of a great book.
See, you and I don't know what heaven is going to be like. You and I genuinely don't know what God is going to be like. But I can assure you one thing, that you and I both know very clearly that by hurting someone who's innocent, there is no way, no God in this world is going to be good to you and take you to heaven.
Sadhi, just to pick up from what one of our viewers have written in, this gentleman says the reason why an ordinary Muslim like me needs to speak up is because we need to, as unfortunate as it may seem, need to convey unequivocally to Muslims, maybe outside as well, and to those who are perpetrating these attacks, that we are dissociating ourselves from these terrorists, and that there is no measure of sympathy at all. Do you
yeah, of course. I think, like there is, like I said, that this is an unusual tragedy, and I think everybody needs to speak out and grieve together. But I would like to say, I think it should be understood that there is no space in Islam for terror. And today I really don't want to debate or get into any other political discourse, but I would like to say that today is Eid al-Zuha, and it brings us the message primarily of God's compassion, because he could not see Abraham sacrifice, the pain of Abraham's sacrificing his son and replaced it with a goat. So I think we need to remember the tenets of compassion, humanity, mercy, which are Allah's foremost attributes. And I must say that the media has really not dwelled this time on, Muslim terror, Hindu terror. So it's very glad that there was a lot of apprehension among the Muslim community. I know some from my friends who were bindis and went out, and there was a lot of paranoia that there would be a reaction. But what we have seen, and I hope that it stays forever, is that sometimes tragedies really unite, and I hope that the lives of those are not just lost in vain, and we remember that they were all lost to terror, and that big tragedy can really unite us, and we not divide us on the basis of religion.
Right. Mr. Hussain, the other point, the other argument that has been made many times in the recent past as well, is that why people like Sadia here, you, Shah Rukh Khan and Amir Khan need to speak up is because over the last 40, 50 years, we haven't really seen the leadership. There's been a vacuum in the leadership. The people who claim to speak for the community have been people who've generally been opportunistic, and there has been a certain vacuum that exists.
Our leaders have always been people from other communities. We have looked upon Indira Gandhi, we've looked upon Jawaharlal Nehru, we've looked upon Hemwati Nandan Bhogna, we've looked upon now Lalu Prasad Yadav and Mulayam Singh Yadav. We have never had people with courage from within the community who have come out and spoken in a voice that is acceptable to every Indian. they have always spoken in voices which have served narrow political purposes, and that's the tragedy of this community in this country.
Okay, is that what Sadia and Roshan think as well? We'll be asking them that question in just a bit. If we take a quick break here, it isn't just a Shah Rukh Khan or an Amir Khan. We've heard voices from across the Muslim community, the intellectuals, many other actors also joining in that condemnation.